come on, smacking some guys with some pillows. Like, of course, it's funny. It's hilarious to me. So
So when we look at pillow fighting, like, is this a gimmick or is this a real sport?
it's a real sport. Yeah, it's a real sport. It's a real sport now.
It's not a joke. Like they actually hit you. It's like a, I think 2 3 pound pillow with those special handles, and the surface of that pillow is like really hard. And when you actually get hit, it's kind of wow. I didn't expect that, you know.
When you started, though,
I was just doing it for fun, man. Like, you know what I mean? You know how like when you just, you play pillow fighting when you was a young kid. So I was kind of like just intrigued because it's like brought back memories. That's why I was so intrigued about it. I wasn't really worrying about the outcome or anything like that. Like I wasn't really, too focused on pretty much anything like that. But I'm like, man, like, come on, smacking some guys with some pillows. Like, of course, it's funny. It's hilarious to me. So
when you got in that ring for the first time, though, what was that like?
I was like, damn, I'm going to destroy him. That was my thought. Like honestly, like that was my thought. I'm like, man, like I don't care who I go against.
First round ever, I was like, wow, this is really tough. This is tougher than I thought. You know, as soon as you have competition, adrenaline kicks in. Although it's just pillow fight, you're like, I just want to win this anyway, regardless. Like, you know, so adrenaline kicks in. You do your stuff, and like really over the course of the rounds, I got to feel like I felt better from round to round. When my opponent already was gassed out, I was like, yeah, now I get it. Now let's go, let's go.
Did you have a strategy, or was it just I got this pillow, I'm gonna try to hit this guy?
That was it. I got this pillow. I'm gonna try to hit this guy, and it went crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. It went crazy. My first fight was in Delray boxing, and I was going up against a guy. I beat that guy. Then I had another guy I went up against, and I kind of dislocated his shoulder.
With a pillow? He knocked his dislocated.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you do that? Like, I wouldn't have thought that was possible to dislocate somebody's shoulder with a pillow.
I hit hard. I'm gonna be honest. I hit hard. I knocked the guy out with a pillow too, and that went viral as well.
For me, right, I would be a little embarrassed if I got knocked out with a pillow.
Yeah, I would too, but that's why I'm not the one on the other side of that, so I ain't got nothing to worry about it. So I gotta let the other guy in, so I laugh.
That's his problem, right? Like, that's his problem. Well, don't lose then, and you won't have that happen to you. But did you have any like formal training in the sense of like MMA or anything like that? Or you just like,
I did boxing, I did kempo, I did judo. So those are the forms of training that I had prior to pillow fighting.
It's a different range of motion. So for boxing and MMA, you have to be, you know, a little closer. With the pillow, you have to really learn, you know, to get a feel for that kind of distance.
if somebody was just a tough guy, could they do this? Or do you kind of know, like, you need to kind of have some actual training?
It's always good to actually have some training. It'll be more beneficial in your favor. But I feel like anybody could kind of come in and kind of get the basics down and be able to swing a pillow. You know what I'm saying? Like it's swinging a pillow at that. But I feel like when you start going up against like, some guys that's really technical, that really got some skill on them, that know how to move, duck their head and good on their feet, then you got a little bit of challenge ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? So that's really it right there.
So, how many fights have you had so far?
So far, I say probably like about 13 or more fights.
Enough that you start to lose track of the number.
Yeah. So it's real cool, man, to be a part of something that you don't think is a big deal until the media kind of gravitate towards it and kind of piques interest in it. So it's mad cool to be a part of it for sure.
It kind of reminds me of slap fighting in the sense that when slap fighting started, people were like, what is this?
Exactly, exactly. It's pretty similar to that. It's pretty similar to that for sure.
Now, slap fighting is a thing. Do you think that this has that possibility, or is this kind of going to be more?
Absolutely, for sure. I feel like this would be more bigger than just slapping. You know what I mean? Because you're getting the crowd involved. You're swinging pillows. Y'all in the ring like y'all going against each other. You know what I mean? You seeing some crazy 360 hits in your head. You seeing guys slip to the ground. It's more entertaining. It's more of a show.
Believe it or not, but the most recent idea PFC's CEO Steve Williams has is to actually make it an Olympic sport. So he had talked to like a lot of influential people, and I don't know where they're at right now, but I mean, just the idea to get it to the Olympics, it's kind of interesting. So I think they're probably not too far away from it.
So going from that first fight to kind of now that you've got 10, 15, whatever under your belt, like has your approach to it changed? Like, would you say you have a strategy now?
You need a great endurance, you need strength, you have to have an, technical understanding, you have to see the gaps. It's not just, you cannot go 90 seconds like completely wild because you will gasp out. Your legs, your core strength, you have to be really fast on your legs in order to not get hit. You have to have an idea for defending yourself, because obviously you can also defend yourself when, the pillow of your opponent hits you. You can put the arm a certain way. Because even when you like hit yourself like this, when the pillow hits you, they scored a point.
I would say like, 360s, you got to know when to hit them 360s. You got to know when to get your head up out the way. You got to know when to step back. It's different tactics to kind of and strategies that you could kind of prepare for different individuals. You know what I mean? Because you can kind of just watch some of the other people's fight as well. The guys that went prior. You know what I mean? I've been beneficial and honored to be able to win a belt. So that's been cool. Yeah, I won the belt. Yeah, recently.
That's got to be pretty cool. Like, whatever somebody's doing to be the champion of it,
Exactly.
what was going through your head? You're like, I'm the champion now.
Man, I had to wait for 2 years to become the champion. So I was the underdog for a while, but I always put on a good fight. Every fight, you got people chanting TJ, TJ. They loving my shots. They loving me smacking guys out. You know what I mean? And then I was humbled. I was just waiting my turn until I was like, you know what? This is my moment now. And that was the Arnold Schwarzenegger's event. And I've been able to fight a guy, and then, man, I beat everybody. I won. I was like, wow, like it's on my page, TJ Vision 77. That's the Instagram handle. So you can check that out.
So, getting into kind of like the logistics of the sport, like, okay, so obviously you win if you knock them out, but like, how do you score points? How does the sport work?
So you score points by 360s, headshots, and if the opponent falls down, you get points on that. Style like and like entertainment points. Like if that makes sense. Entertainment points, like say if a guy like hits a backflip, smacks the guy in the head with the pillow too. It's different. Yeah, people they get into it. Yeah,
Somebody did a backflip and hit somebody?
yeah, backflip, front flips, cartwheels. Yeah, they doing everything. That's what I'm saying. It's more of like like a cool entertainment type of thing. It's getting the crowd involved. So that's why I say it's like wrestling too. Wrestling, and you know how
Yeah.
that kind of hype and that excitement that everybody's like, they're able to be a part of. I feel like that'd be cool.
Man, if somebody did a backflip and hit me in the face with a pillow and knocked me out, nobody would see me for years.
I'm gonna be honest. It's really embarrassing. It's really embarrassing.
There's an aspect of that to it, right? It's not like boxing where like, okay, yeah, I lost. That guy was better than me. Like, this dude just hit me in the face with a pillow.
Pillow. Like you got to think about that. That right there is like, and then you're going viral from being knocked out with some pillows, and you got to think about it. Like a man, at the end of the day, how, like, yeah, part of you was destroyed from getting smacked in the head with a pillow and knocked out. Calling it knocked out with a pillow. Come on, man, you can't go wrong with that. So I find that funny.
So when the fight starts, like, what are you trying to do? You trying to just rush in there as quick as you can?
I'm not rushing. I'm never rushing. I'm reading my opponent's body language. I'm seeing his hits, seeing how fast he is. I'm like, okay. And now, I got reach on him, so I'm keeping my space. I'm getting my target.
Oh man, you are fast.
And I'm not even, I'm just reading my opponent. See, he don't have no reach on me, so I'm keeping my space on him.
Now, are you a bigger guy or is he a littler guy?
He's a smaller guy, so he would want to get close, but he can't get close because my hits is really strong, so I'm kind of keeping him at a distance.
You can use the other hand to block it, huh?
I could switch each side. So one side he's open, I could switch my foot and switch it in my other hand. And I'm always hitting him at that point.
And that's the 360?
Yeah, that's a 360 right there.
So what now, is that you're just trying to do that for more power, or you're trying to do that because it's more points?
It's more points, but it's also more power too as well. This is another one right here.
So, but okay, but the pillow, like, how heavy is this pillow?
It's like a regular pillow. It's just the material on the exterior of the pillow. It got a nice pop noise. So the pop noise, he's giving up. He's exhausted.
Oh, so you were just catching him.
Yeah.
It's that physically hard to swing it,
It's not that hard to swing at all, no.
but it's just the accumulation of everything.
Yeah, of continuing getting smacked in the head with a pillow. That's crazy.
So you knew you had him here.
Yeah, he's done. He's done.
Oh, you guys are like, you're really going at it, huh?
Yeah. It was the one of the fastest technical knockouts in PFC history. I actually TKO'd her. So she got up again, she lost her balance, it got me a lot of points. Yeah, I'm a good hitter, you know. Yeah, I'm a good hitter. I have a good impact, you know.
What was that like when you won the championship?
You know, absolutely amazing. I had only 3 weeks in Germany and sold my apartment and all my stuff in order to live here full time because back then I had the apartment in Florida, Coconut Creek, and one in Berlin. So a lot of stress I went through. And then when I won and obviously made a lot of money, I was like, yes, that was all worth it, you know.
How much, can I ask you how much you made from winning?
5K.
Oh, wow. So you're getting pretty good money there.
Yeah, that was good because that was the World Championships too, you know.
Is it better to kind of be on the attack, or are you trying to more counterattack?
I love being the attacker, but I don't mind, you know, also defending and attacking,
What is
you
that?
know.
What does that feel like? Like, cause you catch her, like you catch her. What does that feel like when you catch somebody like that?
It feels good. It's a good sound when you hear, wow, that was, you know, I just got right in the face. That's nice.
Who has been your toughest opponent in MMA? Who has been your toughest opponent in pillow fighting?
I honestly think like when I go let's say MMA, I go from fight to fight. In that moment when I'm in my fight camp for a fight, I feel like this is one of my hardest challenges, right? I don't think like this. Like even in judo, you know, I had like over 800 fights. I go from fight to fight. And that when you fight the semifinal for whatever the European Championships, this is your probably your hardest opponent. And then you win this eventually, and then you move on, and then this might be your hardest opponent. So I'd never underestimate anybody. I feel like everybody deserves the respect because they also put hard work in there and effort and love and passion, you know. So I cannot really say that. Plus, it's also really a performance thing. How do you feel on that day? You know, there might be days where you just literally kill someone in the cage. And then there are days where you feel like, fuck, today's just not the day. I don't feel it. I don't feel well. I feel like sick, whatever, you know? I can't really say who my toughest opponent was. Life, baby, life is my toughest opponent.
Ain't that the truth? Would you say in MMA, do you have like an overall goal? Like, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do.
Overall, what the most important thing is be healthy because you only have one health. So be healthy, but eventually become the Invicta world champion. Get into the UFC, have a couple of good fights, and say thank you very much. That was a great career. You know, at 34, I guess you think kind of differently because I don't have children yet, and eventually I wanna.
Does that does that weigh on you though? Like, do you feel an extra pressure because like, okay, I'm 34, and for an athlete,
I do, I do. It does something to you.
but does a part of you feel like, oh gosh, I'm 34. If I was doing this in 24, I would be wrecking people.
Oh my God, yes, of course. Like if I would have just known about MMA any earlier and could have started all of this earlier, oh my God, yes. If I was with everything I have now at 24, holy, yeah.
What is it like training with ATT?
I mean, it's fantastic. It's a great gym with world class athletes. It's a great facility, and you know, I remember, you know, stepping there, entering that door for the very first time in my life, knowing it just from videos and pictures. I was like, wow, wow, I'm here. Wow, I'm on the team now. My goodness. And that's great. I mean, also a lot of pressure, you know, because you have to perform. It's a business. It's not a normal dojo. It's about business. To bring money in, you have to be successful, you know.
Have you had harder fights in the gym than you've had in the ring, so to speak?
Probably yes. I mean, this is a good training camp, you know what I mean? Like 24/7. So you always grind with the best people out there. It's just, let's put it like this. It prepares you really well for what's out there.
That's pretty much all the questions we got. What's kind of coming up for you? I know you got a lot of stuff going on.
I cannot even say it right now. It's too early to publish that information.
Oh, so you got something good coming then, huh?
Like 2, 3 really good things happening very soon, and I'm very looking forward to that. And once the time allows it, I'm definitely gonna obviously share it with the audience. Well, follow me on Instagram, please. I am at Julia Dorny, or you just put in the German tag. You find the account. Follow me.
Yeah, I got some things coming up. So like I said, just stay in train right now. That's what I'm focused on right now. But my next fight, I think it should be next month. I think possibly next month. So I just say tune in, man. Tune in. We got some big things coming up. We just had a couple of events, community events we plugged into and doing some stuff for the kids, kind of taking some pictures for community and just trying to support everybody, you know, trying to do something positive, trying to do something different and leave that impact. So that's my goal right there.
So if I find myself in a pillow fight, man, what's your best piece of advice for me?
Duck.